Today we are going to start our open registration program on teaching and learning through blended methods. You all know that before, in the end of the 2019, we had a pandemic. It was the start of the pandemic. Before that, different institutions are trying to implement e-learning programs or blended learning programs in their teaching learning process. But the implementation was not much as per the desired of the organization. After the pandemic, it was realized that the use of the technology is very important in the classroom environment. And the institution, maybe it's a large institution, a small institution, they try to implement the technology in order to reach the student during the pandemic time. So in this scenario, it is very important for all the TVET professionals and teachers. They should know how to improve the teaching and learning method by using the technology and the blended methods. So for that purpose, we designed this program to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of all our TVET professionals who are attending this program. I hope this program is a very unique for you, and you will learn lots of things during this blended teaching and learning through blended methods. So we designed this program in such a way to train you how to develop the learning materials with the help of the technology. For example, nowadays, we more talk about how to develop a video, because learners are nowadays learning by watching a video as quickly as compared to when you are talking face to face. So it is very important for a teacher to develop a video in order to understand a concept to the trainees. So that is the one of the examples. So we will share you and we will discuss the ideas how to develop a video content, how to develop a e-learning course, how to upload these courses in a learning management system. So these are the things we will discuss in this program. So let me start my program orientation. Okay, the motivation behind this program is that it supports number of reasons. These are the few reasons I mentioned over here, just to motivate you, just to encourage you to actively participate in this training program. So the blended learning motivates you, support you, that it promotes student ownership of the learning, because during the face-to-face, we realized that some of the students, they are not taking the ownership, but using the blended method, it will support and promotes the student for the ownership of the learning. Second reason is that it prepares student for a tech-centered world. Tech-centered world means that it prepares the student to use the technology in the teaching and learning process. That is the need of the current era. The third reason, very important reason, blended learning cuts the cost. Nowadays, the number of TVET organizations, they are thinking how to use the minimum resources in order to develop the e-learning programs, in order to develop the training courses with the minimal resources. So in this program, we will share you how to develop the e-learning programs, how to develop the training programs with the use of the technology, but minimal resources. So it means that it will reduce the cost. The fourth reason is that blended learning increase collaboration. That's very important, because you see nowadays some of my friends are sitting in Malaysia and some of my participants are sitting in the Philippines. So we are collaborating each other with the use of the technology. So blended learning supports you how to collaborate. So in this training program, we will teach you how to collaborate remotely with your trainees and students. And another reason is that keeps students more interested and engaged. That's very important, because if you want to engage your students, they will feel very comfortable and they will learn very quickly. And there are a number of factors that, such as curiosity about new things. So new things, for example, we will discuss in this program how to use the authoring tools. So that's very important. Authoring tools are very popular nowadays. to develop the training programs in a quick way, in a minimal resources. So these are the things, these are the reasons that motivate you to attend this training program from first day till the end of the training program. So blended learning, it's, I know that you all know very well. In more detail, we will discuss in our next sessions. Okay, in a simple words, I can say that it's a combination of the face-to-face and the technology. It's called a blended learning. Okay, when you will combine the face-to-face methods as well as the technologies-based method, it will combine the blended method. Okay, in the human, it will support the motivation, personalization. It will provide you feedback, fluency and listening, relevance and disciplines. These are blended with the technology, which consists of the mobility, structure. You can track the progress of the trainees, self-study, reduce the cost and global reach. So this is the basic understanding of the blended learning. In more detail, we will discuss throughout the training program. Now the introduction of the program is that the aim of the program is to rapidly build the capacities of TVET professionals to enhance the quality and outreach of e-learning, TVET, and delivery of TVET through digital learning, blended learning, adopting successful approaches and tools to foster different forms of engagement and learning. So that is the aim, which I already discussed it. We will share you, we will discuss how to use the digital technology in order to develop the digital learning, in order to develop the blended learning program, and how to cut the cost. So that is the main objective behind this training program. I hope you will enjoy in this coming 5 days training program, because this program is designed in such a way we will practically demonstrate you, and we will ask you, you have to develop these things by performing the project work. So you will enjoy, and it will be a very innovative training program. The following out, in order to achieve the program objectives, the following are the objective we have to cover in this program. The number one is that understand the concept and components of the blended learning approach. Okay, in the first few lectures, we will share you how to use the technology in order to understand the concept and components of the blended learning approach. Second is the develop teaching aids to enhance blended learning. How to, just I mentioned earlier, how to develop the teaching aid. For example, teaching aid consists of developing a video, developing online lectures, developing a training program. So these are the things. So that is the second objective. Third objective is that develop action plan to design a blended learning course. So at the end of the course, you have to develop an action plan. That action plan you will be implemented in your professional, in your professional life or in your institution. In how to achieve these objectives, so we design this program by using the following instructional strategies. Okay, to facilitate the productive and interactive learning. The following instructional strategy will be utilized to effectively train the participants. So that I mentioned earlier that we design this training program in such a way effectively, efficiently train you by using the projects. We will ask you to complete a project, to work on assignment and exercise. We will because it's a blended learning program, we will deliver the lecture by using the technology, online learning and offline learning. Offline learning means you will work with your project offline, individuals, and depending on the resource person. Then use on-course learning management system to develop lectures, test item, computer session, and experience sharing. We will demonstrate you how to develop a learning management system, and that learning management system you can use to upload the lectures, your test item, and so on. It will give you hands-on practice on digital tools for teaching and learning. That's very important. It will provide you practical demonstration of digital tools that will help you to develop the teaching learning material for your lectures, for your program, and evaluation of the program through on-course system. So these are the instructional strategy we will follow throughout the training program. Now, what are the contents of this training program? So we covered these training programs in the 5 online classes. Out of 5, there will be a number 1 is the special lecture, which is about teaching a learning system based on vocational pedagogy. Then the online class number 1, in which we will we will discuss you concept, elements and components of the blended learning. Then followed by the platform learning management system, how to develop a learning management system, what are the important elements relevant to the LMS. Then we will share you to develop digital contents using authoring tools. That's very popular. That's the needs of the organization. Nowadays, if you go and Google it, how different organization, TVET sector organization, or maybe education, other training organization, they are using authoring tools to develop the training program. So we will share you how to use the authoring tools. And the finally last session, last class is about ICT and digital competencies for virtual learning. So these are the main contents of the training programs. Based on these training programs, we have designed also project work. You have to complete all the project work in order to successfully complete the training program. So the number 1 project work is conduct the SWOT analysis on digital learning. Second project is develop a learning management system using Moodle platform. Third, develop a course using an authoring tool. And the last one is prepare an action plan to design a blended learning course. So these are the project work. You have to done it. At the end of the program, there will be a final online examination. So it will be an individual has to attend the online examination by using the CPSC on course platform. So these are the main contents. How we will cover these content in a schedule. So it will be a 5-day training program, and we will start our program daily from 9:30 till 3:30. Okay, and right now we are in day 1, which is November 9 on Monday, and right now we are in the opening of the program. All right, after that there will be a special lecture which will be delivered by Dr. Ramai Lamichani, which is about teaching a learning system based on vocational pedagogy. That is all about for today's. Then on second day, that is November 10, we will have a online class number 1, in which Engineer Sanyog will discuss you in details different methods of the blended learning, as well as the concept, elements and components of the blended learning. Then followed by a project work, or maybe a group task or individual. It will be decided by the Engineer Sanyog. So that will be conduct SWOT analysis on digital learning in TVET. Then third day, on November 11, we will have an online class number 2. In that class, we will share you about the platform, learning management system, and the project work. That's an individual task. Each participant has to develop a learning management system using the Moodle platform. We will demonstrate you how to develop a learning management system. Then on day 4, we will have 2 classes. Class number 3, which is about develop digital content using authoring tools, followed by an individual task, develop a course using an authoring tools. You have to complete that task. And then we have a class number 4, which is about ICT and digital competencies for virtual learning. Then on the last day, we will give you input how to develop an action plan. So each participant has to prepare an action plan to design a blended learning course. Then participant has to present their plan to all the participants. Then finally the program evaluation and closing ceremony. Make sure when you will develop all the tasks, we will ask few of the participants, they have to present their task to all the participants online. So this is all about program schedule. Next is the assessment. As I mentioned earlier, we will have a final exam. In addition to final exam, we will have a assessment for all of the project work. All right. So we have 4 project work. Each project work has 20% scores. Total score is 100%, 100 marks. Out of 100 project work has 20%, means 20 marks for the project work number 1, 20 marks for the project work number 2, 20 marks for the project work number 3, and project number 4 is also 20 marks. It means that you have 4 assignments for project work, you have to do it, and 4 project has 80% of the overall training program. And the last 20% goes to your final online examination. It means 80% for the project work, 20% for the online examination. Your online examination is consist of the multiple choice questions, and these multiple choice questions comes from your PowerPoint slides and the material which is shared by the resource persons. So for the online examination, you are all requested actively participate and listens all the important component of during the presentations. So at the final rating skill is that if a participant gets below 60%, which means that he needs retraining. If he will get 60 to 69 mediocre, 70 to 79 satisfactory, 80 to 90 good, 90 and above you will get an excellent. So based on this you will get your certificates. So thank you very much. I hope it will be a very good training session and you will enjoy and you will learn lots of things during this training program. We will make it more engaged during the session. I hope you will enjoy. Now the floor is open for question and answer. If you have any question regarding this training program, regarding the program flow, you can ask right now. Dear distinguished participant, do you have any questions?
Anybody? You can ask now. Nan?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, yes.
Yes, good morning.
Just want to ask because I'm going to have seminar also on the what is that? 10 to 12 of November. So what should I do? Could you provide a recording seminar and then I just watch it later after my seminar on that day?
Okay, Ellen, thank you very much for your question. Yes, we used to record all the sessions. So, and we also share the link, recorded link. So you can use that link on that day to make sure you have to study all the things. Okay.
Thank you.
From the on course, they can check all the presentations also.
Okay, any other concern, any other question? Dear distinguished participants, or everything is okay for you? Dear my friends, any question?
Can you share all the slides just now?
Yes, slides will be shared to you, don't worry. It will be uploaded, it will be uploaded on the on course.
All right.
Kaniji,
Yes.
can you ask them about that timing? Timing is okay or not?
Okay, I think the timing is okay for all of you. Dear participants, the timing, the program timing is okay to all of you.
Yeah, it's the time is okay. It's India.
Okay. Thank you from India, Michael.
Excuse me. Hopefully, the training will stop immediately at 3:30, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Because some of us we need to go for prayer.
We will have a break for the lunch as well as for the prayer.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yes.
I thought there's no break.
No, there will be a break.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Salamat. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, Lynn, you can proceed further.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that very comprehensive orientation on how we are going to go about our program for the 5 days. So without further ado, let us all welcome our Director General, Dr. Ramhari Lamichane, for his welcome remarks.
Thank you, Arlene.
Dr.
Yeah, thank you, Arlene. Good morning to everyone. Dear Engineer Rajput, Sanyog, and all my team from CPSC with participants from different countries, especially India, Mongolia, Malaysia, Philippines, and Thailand. On behalf of Colombo Plan Staff College, I would like to welcome you all in this opening program. As Engineer Ghani already explained about the program, so no need to talk much about what is happening in these 5 days. All of us are in the Tibet sector, and Tibet sector is one of the key sectors for the socio-economic development of the each countries. Considering that most of the countries, whatever the government comes in the power, they are giving high priority for Tibet sector or skills development sectors, because this is a cross-cutting sectors to develop either in agriculture, trade, or whatever. That's why, considering the importance of the Tibet, we have to enhance quality of Tibet. We have to provide demand-driven Tibet, and we have to produce globally competent workforce. Then only we can address the need of the government and need of the country and need of the entire world by producing skills. As we are experiencing many challenges in the Tibet sector, like the key challenges, mismatch between demand and supply. Most of the countries are facing that. Industries are looking one set of competencies, but we are producing different set of competencies. That's why most of our Tibet graduates are not getting employment, but industries are looking more skilled workers. So there is a gap. Similarly, competent human resource, or especially instructor or teachers for the Tibet institutions, is the another challenges facing by different institutions. In one hand, there is a lack of competent human resource. In another hand, there is a high turnover of the competent human resource. That is the another challenges we are facing as well. Similarly, technology, as Ghaniji mentioned, the technology has given us opportunity. At the same time, it is a great challenge for us to cope with new technology in our learning environment. That is a very important thing. And another thing is the integrations of the competencies of the 21st century skills. So based on the 21st century skills, we have to strengthen our blended learning environment, online learning, ICT things, entrepreneurship educations, group dynamics, and innovations and creativity. There are many other things. That's why, considering this overall scenario and challenges of the Tibet, the blended learning and online learning is a very vital element we have to address. That's why CPSC designed these programs to provide some concept, knowledge, and ideas to develop blended learning environment in our Tibet institutions. Due to this pandemic, COVID-19, the online learning, distance learning, or blended learning is a most essential. If we are lacking with this learning environment, now we must establish this blended learning environment or online learning or different others distance learning things. Otherwise, we cannot deliver our skills training program or any sort of education program to the target audience or students. Considering this, CPSC is bringing these small milestones to equip some ideas, concept, and how can we develop blended learning environment and online things in our Tibet system. Therefore, these 5 days programs will give you some ideas, and it will be a two-way training sessions, and we will learn many things from the very senior and experienced Tibet experts from the different countries. They will share their experiences, case studies, and what they are doing in these situations, and it will be a very good learning for CPSC. With these words, I would like to thanks to my team and all the distinguished Tibet professionals from different countries. So you were the member of the CPSC, or let's say family of CPSC. With these programs, you will be a very close member of the CPSC family as well. So hope this our coordinating team, the coordinator engineer Ghani and other faculties of CPSC and the team of the CPSC will facilitate you for 5 days, and we hope this program will be very successful and able to bring smiles on your face. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for that very warm message for the participants and for emphasizing the significance of this program. With that, I guess we're all ready now, CPSC team and dear participants, to have our best shots. Kindly turn on your web cameras. We will have a group photo and we will be taking a quick screen grab. Hold for around 30 seconds and then our ICT officer, Mr. Felix Siba, will tell us when to smile.
If you log in, you will see here in our learning management system, there are links. The first link available will be the Zoom links that we will have for our meeting room. And you have the directory of participants and messages. And for this one, this is the edit profile. This is important since you will see here what you need to check this first, because this will be the name that will appear in your certificate. So you can simply click on edit profile and you can correct the name that you want to appear. So you have to change if there are corrections in your first name and surname in the edit profile. So when you complete this, you just scroll down, or you made your corrections, you just scroll down and click on update profile. Okay. So just click update profile. And you can go back to your program home. So if you cannot find the main page, you just type in again blended learning 2020.cpsc tech in the URL so that you can go back to your main page. And here you will see, if you click the first icon, this is about the program, and you will see the program design, and you will see here the daily schedule. If you scroll down, so that you will know what we will be doing for the day. And you can also contact the resource persons. You have their email is here if you have queries. And so if you go back to the main page of our course, just click Blended Learning 2020. The program materials will be posted here. So we have the presentation as well as the videos also uploaded. And for the project task, since you will be doing your task on the third icon, just click on project task. And so if we will be sharing the templates, you will have the link here also, so that you can work on templates that will be provided by the resource person. And if you're going to upload the materials or the tasks given to you, just click on upload task link. So click this one and it will ask you to submit, and there's an add submission button. Just click the add submission, and from here you can simply if you scroll down, there is a file submission window or field. You can simply drag your file from another window directly here, or you can browse it directly from this link. And you can add supplemental text if you want, like to say with what institution are you from, like that. And when you've completed, you can just click on Save Changes when you've uploaded the task. So you can go back to the main page, main course page, by clicking this link at the top. And the fourth icon is actually the video playback. So all our sessions will be recorded. So in case you miss some sessions, you are not able to attend, you can just play this. So we will record from the opening to the closing each day. And this is a live stream that you can actually view. And so you can, in case you want to review the sessions we had, you can always go back to this site and go back to the video, even at the evening, at nighttime. This will be available 24 hours. So yeah, just click pause and close. So again, the URL is blendedlearning2020.cpsctech.org. And if you have questions or having problems accessing the learning management system, you can email us at cpscict@cpsctech.org. Okay, so are there any questions?
Any clarification, please, or verification? Because every day you have to log in to that on course so you can see all the presentations. If you need to go back for the video presentations and playback or any materials that you need, you have to log into that learning system.
Also, the system will also be recording the attendance, and you can see here there's an auto attendance block at the lower right. So every time you log in, it automatically records. So again, if you have questions or problems, you can email us at cpscict@cpsctech.org. Okay, if there are no questions, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Sir Felix, for that orientation on the on-course. So if you have no more questions, then we conclude these opening ceremonies. So mabuhay to everyone. Terima kasih. Salamat po. Magandang tanghali, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. So Engineer Gani, would you like to introduce Dr. Ram, or shall we have a break? Or
I think we can have a break for 5 to 10 minutes. Then we can, yes?
Yes, we can present the DJ afterwards.
Yeah, afterwards, yes.
Okay, so everyone, we can have 10 minutes, 10-minute break,
Yes,
sir?
yes.
Okay, just for going to our restrooms or coffee or tea. So we'll be back after 10 minutes, everyone. Good afternoon once again.
Nowadays, we are using different devices and different tech for the educational purposes. So when we talk about educations or technical educations, especially technical educations is for its mind, train hand, touch hearts, and transform lives. In our CPSC language, we call it 4 T's. So if we are working in a Tibet institution, we have to consider these 4 T's very appropriately. If there is, mismatch, or let's say the lack of balances between these 4 T's together, we cannot achieve our educational or Tibet purpose. Teach mind is related with our practical things like a skills training theoretical part, a cognitive aspect, where we are talking about theory normally in our Tibet sectors, we always say 80-20. 80 is practical things, skills part, and 20 is theory part. So fact things, figure things, always we have to teach our student about the cognitive aspect that is called teach mind. Similarly, for the practical parts, for the hands-on skills, that is related with train hand. And touch hearts is the effective domain, or we can say soft skill, or life skills, or basic skills, whatever. that is related with the value, discipline, integrity, attitudes, behavior, all the components comes to touch hearts. When we able to equip these three T's together to our students or graduates, then they can easily transform their lives and they can have a better lives. That's why not only Tibet, education should be for these four T's. That is the fundamental things we have to keep in our mind. So Tibet is a combination of KSA, as we already discussed, knowledge, attitude, skills. So where these three elements meet together, then only we can fulfill our goals, Tibet goals, to equip all the competencies to our students. So knowledge is basic knowledge, theories, facts and figures and informations related to that subject. So we have to incorporate in our courses. Then skills part is cognitive and practical skills. So there are many cognitive skills also and practical skills like ICT skill, digital technology, subject related core skills, all comes here under the skills domain. And attitude part is self-motivation. So we have to produce our graduates who are self-motivated. So we have to produce proactiveness and initiators like a self-motivators, not like the demotivated persons. That is not the aim of Tibet. And integrity and positivity. Every Tibet graduate should have a positive attitude. That is very important. And responsibility and accountability for their jobs, occupations, and duties. Similarly, commitment. They must have a very good commitment to do that occupation. So that is related with attitude. So when these three elements meet together, that is called ability. So if we blended KSA very well, then we can equip ability of our graduates easily, and they will be able to perform their assigned duties or given occupations or whatever they do in the real workplace. That's why Tibet is combination of KSA to build the ability of our graduates or students. So dynamic education system. When we'll talk about the dynamic education system, we have to remember these things like National Education Policy, National Qualification Framework, and National Education Strategy Plan. That is the guiding document. That is the for the Tibet institutions. These three documents are like a Quran or like a Bible, like Gita or Veda in different religions. In our Tibet religion, Tibet is a religion. If we remember, Tibet is a culture or Tibet is a religion. And for this religion, three documents are very vital to do our work. Like inputs in our education system, in our Tibet system, inputs are labor market study. So all the Tibet programs should be based on research or study and what labor markets are looking for. If we develop our programs based on that, then only we can reduce or we can avoid the mismatch between demand and supply. So labor market study or research-based program is very important. Based on the study or research, we'll develop our curricula, we'll develop our textbooks, we'll develop our teaching materials, and we recruit and we train our human resources. Based on that, then other resources. So these are the inputs of our education system or Tibet system. And process, teaching pedagogy or vocational pedagogy. Teaching pedagogy is common to all educations, but vocational pedagogy for the Tibet sector. And evaluation and certification. How is our evaluation and certification? Are we doing proper evaluation and certification system to address KSA or all three T's? Then only we can claim that our graduates are equipped with better competencies or globally competent competencies. Okay, so process is that. Could you please mute your mic? There is a sound I am hearing. And The output for TVET institution or educational institution is our graduates. So whatever the inputs we provide and whatever the process we implement, then based on that we produce our output. For our institutions, our outputs are TVET graduates. Then outcomes for the institutions is the employment of that graduates, living standard of their family, and social harmony, and ultimately TVET institutions contribute for the GDP. So these are the outcomes of the TVET institutions. And all these elements should be properly monitored and evaluation. So monitoring and evaluation of education program is the cross-cutting things. So we have to do M&E in input level. We have to do M&E, monitoring and evaluation in process level. We have to do M&E in the output level. We have to do M&E in the outcome level. Okay, so this is the overall educational system or TVET system. We can consider TVET is an education. So this is our TVET dynamic education system, means you must have this, all our activities will be governed and guided by national education policy, national qualification framework, national education strategy plan. Based on that, we give inputs to the system, we initiate different processes, and we produce output, and as an effect of that output, we'll get these are the outcomes. So in each level, in all 4 levels, there should be a monitoring and evaluation system. If we have a very good M&E system, then we can implement demand-driven programs, market-driven programs, 21st century skill-based programs, globally competency-based programs. If we are not following this system, and we cannot implement quality management system in our TVET institutions, and we cannot address the demand of the market, labor market, okay? So based on that systems, I would like to share some information about the concept about the instructional management. What is instructional management? Prior to jump into blended learning or online learning things, we should know what is the instructional management. According to Eric, the instructional management, we can define it, events and procedures. Instructional management is not a new things. It is a events or procedures which specify activity for an individual student, because TVET always believes and we are implementing competency-based program. We are conducting competency-based TVET, means we have to focus not the group of students. We have to focus individual students. If 40 or 100 students enroll in one class, means all 100 students have to acquire that competencies equally. Doesn't matter about time. Somebody can learn very fast, somebody can learn very slow. That's why specific activity for an individual students for the purpose of learning is called instructional management, which include aspiration management. Always, whatever instructional management is always focused on goals or objectives. In each and every program in the TVET institutions, either in vocational skills training program or diploma programs or bachelor programs or master's program for the technical educations, it has their own goals and objectives. That's why always our instructional management should be aspired by the organizational goals and course and programs goals and objectives. Similarly, second management is called perspective management. Perspective management means teachers one. In the competency-based programs or either in the face-to-face class or blended learning or modern learning environment, teachers one management is vital. So institution can give just a framework, institution can give the systems, but teachers are independent to deliver their classes. They can design, they can develop lessons plan as per their wish, means to impart knowledge, skills, and attitudes based on the curricula, given curricula. Teachers can develop their own lessons plan or their own, teaching and learning systems. So perspective management is very vital in instructional management. Perspective management is very vital. That's why in instructional management in our Tibet institutions, we have to give liberty to the teachers. We cannot control everything. And achievement management means all our programs, results, and success. If our graduates equipped with the 100% competencies based on the courses, and if we able to produce 100% result graduates, and most of them get relevant job or appropriate job as per the course in the labor market, means that is the achievement management. That's why in instructional management, always we have to focus our desired results and success of the organization also. Similarly, we have to follow motivation management. In our instructional system, always we have to maintain the motivational things, and both teachers and students should be motivated to learn the things. So if they are demotivated, means that is not good instructional management things. And enrichment management, the fifth management under the instructional management is enrichment management, means improvement. There is a scope for improvement. So nobody can be 100% perfect. Always there is a room for improvement. So we have to improve. If we have some lapses or weaknesses in the first cycle, in our second cycle, we have to improve that. So we have to consider instructional management always believes improvement management also. So improvement always presence. And maintenance management. Maintenance management is the sixth stage of the instructional management, means we have to maintain our system. Like I already discussed in previous slide. In our Tibet or educational system, we have to maintain that system from input to outcome. If one element lapses, the whole entire systems will collapse. So we have to maintain that system to produce competent graduates and quality management system in Tibet. And support management, support to students and get support from team. So always, as an instructor of the Tibet institutions, you have to seek support from your team. You have to seek support from your stakeholders, or you have to seek support from your students. Same times, you have to give support to them, for the colleagues, for the peer teachers, for the manager or principal, administrator or student. So support means both sides support, two-way traffic in the support also. That's why these are the 7 elements of management under the instructional management. Always we have to be guided by these seven management elements for the instructional management. Okay, and you are very much aware about this. That just for reminding things, and I brought this. So instructional management system. When we talk about instructional management system, always we have to follow the PDCA, Plan, Do, Check, Act, for the quality management system. So plan means instructional design. We have to do instructional design. We have to develop lesson plan. We have to develop resource plan. So based on the lessons plan or instructional design, we have to manage resources. For that also, we have to develop our resource plan. What are the resources we have? What are the resources we have to procure? What are the resources we can borrow? So you have to develop your resource plan. When do you need these resources? And evaluation plan. We have to develop our evaluation plan. How we are evaluating that things, instructional thing. Similarly, in Do part, to conduct classes based on our plan. We have to implement our classes. We have to organize, our teaching and learning management things, and complete project work. So based on our lesson plan, we have to complete all the project work and conduct student evaluation. So based on our evaluation plan or schedule or the academic, always we have to develop our academic calendar. In another word, we can say academic calendar. Academic calendar also a kind of plan. we have to follow that academic calendar. We have to conduct the students' evaluation. So conduct classes, complete the project works or different practical aspects, or there might be apprenticeship, there might be on-the-job training, there might be internship with industries, whatever. We have to complete all the project work and the classes, then we have to conduct the students' evaluation. That is related to do part. So check part is we have to we have to conduct not only students' evaluations, we have to do teachers' evaluation, performance appraisal. Similarly, course evaluations, we have to conduct each cycle's course evaluations, which will give a lot of feedbacks and rooms for improvement, like improvement management we discussed in the previous slide. And then resources evaluation. So did we provide adequate resources to implement our classes or courses? And what was the lapses there? So we have to basically, there are many other evaluations, but basically we do teachers evaluations, course evaluation, and resource evaluation. That is called check part. And act part, based on the evaluation report, we have to compile feedback and suggestions, assess suggestions, and all based on the different reports. We have to assess suggestion and improve for next. So this is called feedback management. So act part is the feedback management. Based on the evaluation check part report, based on these reports, we have to analyze these things, and it will be an input for next year plan or next cycle plan. So this is called instructional management system. So are we doing this continuous cycle of the instructional management system, IMS, in our place or not? That's the matter. So if we are implementing IMS very systematically, that means we are implementing quality management system in our instructional management. So based on that plan, what is teaching planning? So teaching plan is, this is a plan for future teaching learning process. So plan means think today to implement tomorrow. Means develop a document ahead, or develop a plan, or think ahead to implement something tomorrow, after, okay? So that's why it is a plan for future teaching learning process. And it will answer the 5 questions like what we have to teach, why we have to teach, that is a purpose, goal, objectives, and how we are implementing that teaching learning things, procedures part, process part, and where are we teaching? Are we teaching in our Polytechnic Institute or our training centers or our TTIs or vocational training institute or technical schools, or are we providing those skills in the industry or workplace? Where? So teaching learning, this teaching planning document has to answer what, why, how, and where. This is a very systematic thing. And types of teaching plan. Basically, there will be 2 types of teaching plan. One is based on teaching learning contents, and based on time. So based on teaching learning contents, course plan, course of study, I think you are very much aware about it. And unit plan. So when we develop course plan, based on that, there will be many units under one course. So we have to develop unit plan, unit of the courses, and lesson plan means specific lessons. Within a unit, there might be 10 or 5 lessons. So for each lessons, we have to develop lesson plan. Okay. So based on teaching learning content, there are basically 3 plans: course plan, unit plan, lesson plan. And based on time, long-term plan and short-term plan. So for the teaching and learning purpose, we can develop long-term plan. That is a kind of within the strategic plan. Or short-term plan means operational plan, yearly plan of operations. So these are based on one single course, 1-year course. Okay. So types of teaching plan, these are the common types. Approaches to impart KSA in the learning place. So there are different approaches to impart knowledge skills in the learning places. So first one, for the knowledge, as a knowledge development process, when we are talking about knowledge part or teach mind, or we can say cognitive domain of the education's learning. Okay, under the learning domain, cognitive domain is the knowledge part. So teaching as a complex cognitive activity reflects by the teacher's beliefs and their methodology. So teaching is the complex cognitive activity. We cannot say this is the best way of teaching. It depends upon the teachers. It depends upon the context. It depends upon the students. It depends upon the learning environment. So we cannot copy paste things from one place to another. That's why teaching as a complex cognitive activity, we have to think it and reflects by the teacher's beliefs and their methodology. So as we already discussed in the aspiration management or teaching management, teachers' decision is always right. So whatever they like, how they want to implement that courses, we have to give liberty to them. That is the, as a knowledge development process, we have to consider this. As a skills equipping process, break down into duties, tasks, and steps of a complete job. So I think in Tibet people, they knows what is job or occupations and what is the duties, what are the steps. So in DACM process, develop a curricula process, we always do this type of things. So always we have to break down into the small component, small steps of the duties. From occupation to duties to steps. Then only we can impart very nicely skills part. So everybody will perform 100%. Yes or no. Skills means yes or no. We can't say in skills our students secure 70% or 60%. In skills or competency based, either yes or no. Okay. That's why we have to try to break down into a smaller set of steps. Then only we can equip skills easily. Similarly, mastery of learning. So in Tibet, there should be 100% performance. So mastery of learning is the another principle for the equipping these skills. And exposure and experience of teacher on skills environment. That's why nowadays many countries are focusing the teaching, the industrial experience of the Tibet teacher is must. If they don't have industrial experience, means they are half experience in the teaching. Only graduated from universities, they cannot teach well in the classroom or practical labs to the students. If they have both educational qualification from university and experiences from the industry, means they can teach very well. That's why exposure, we have to give more exposure to our teacher to the industrial setup. That is very vital things. And as a behavioral and personality construction process, means this is a learning domain, or we can say, soft skill parts or touch hearts part, self-awareness and teacher's personal interpretations, teacher's self-awareness part, and how his personal about the competencies, that is very important. Similarly, reflections of responsibility and accountability of an occupations. So they must have reflection related to that occupation and experience of teacher to improve behavioral part. So teachers' experience related to behavior is very important. If they are very good in behavioral part, they can deliver, they can give soft skills part, or they can demonstrate their experiences, or they can demonstrate their behavior or some discipline matter, characters part to the students. So as a behavioral and personality construction process, from the teachers, students will learn a lot. Sometimes you might have experience. Our children, always they said, my teachers, my A teacher is like this, and they told me this, that's why I have to do this. Sometimes, our children do not follow the parents, they follow the teachers. That's why teachers' behavioral part is very important to equip the soft skills, or this quality part of the learning, touch hearts part. That is very important. So level of cognitive learning, as we know very much, always the lower level is knowledge part, remembering or knowing. Always we have to teach them, or we have to tell them to remember and knowing the knowledge part. And understanding and application means they have to understand. That is the main skills part. They have to understand and they have to apply it. Otherwise, they cannot do the practical things. And higher mental processes in the long run, if you remember the vocational qualification framework, like level 4, level 5, level 6, level 7, that is more related to analysis, synthesis, and evaluations. So remembering, knowing, and understanding these are the vocational, like a Tibet level means below the level 4, level 1, level 2, level 3. But analysis, synthesis, evaluations always comes to higher level. Higher level means higher mental process. So leadership skills, management skills, analysis skills, decisions making. So we have to give more component to the higher level students, not in the basic level. They need, but gradually it will improve. So these are the levels of cognitive level. For this, see the Bloom taxonomy, you can follow, you can read it, then you will understand more about it. So supervision and monitoring, because supervision and monitoring is the another component of the instructional management, as we discussed before under the PDCA. So supervision and monitoring is a very important. For example, if we develop blended learning environment in our institution or distance mode of learning, due to this COVID, most of the TVET institutions, they have already done something for the distance learning or online learning or blended learning. Okay, so based on that, to implement effectively that blended learning environment, we must have a very good supervision and monitoring system. So for that, develop supervision and monitoring system incorporating all components, and develop tools with smart criteria, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. So when we talk about supervision and monitoring, our criteria or our indicators should be smart. Otherwise, we cannot evaluate properly or we cannot monitor properly. Built-in organizational structure with clear roles and responsibility. In our TVET institutions, supervision and monitoring unit or division should be inbuilt in our organizational structure. If we don't have that, if you haven't that in your institute, after these programs, if you are in a decision-making role, you can create this structure. Otherwise, you can suggest to top management and manage qualified staff, because whatever the system we develop, if there is no qualified staff, we cannot achieve. Same thing apply in the supervision and monitoring. For supervision and monitoring, we have to recruit, we have to train our staff to implement properly SINM. Okay, conduct SINM as per plan, use feedback and recommendations of report for the further improvement. Okay, this is a common thing. This is the very good system for the quality management process. So components of teaching quality. When we talk about teaching quality, because either you develop or blended learning or online learning or face-to-face learning, whatever, even in the traditional learning, these are the basic components of the quality. Because first, we must have a very good teachers, competent teachers. Teachers' competencies, attitudes, beliefs, orientation, and social background is very important. Because the teacher's social background reflect to the quality and reflect to our religious part, reflect to our religion, and reflect to our cultures. So that is very important. How is that teachers in the society? If that person has a very good moral and high values, ethical values of that person's high personality, definitely whatever that person teach at classroom, it will impact a lot. Similarly, students is the another set of components of the quality teaching. So age group. Are we recruiting the relevant age group for the relevant subjects? Age group also, if we recruit, let's say 50 years and above age old groups in the skills training or diploma program, maybe they might not be more motivated. So that's not the right age group. Similarly, background. What is the background? So the students must have similar backgrounds where they are going to learn. And knowledge, they must have knowledge and motivational level. So these are the elements which impacts the quality of students. Similarly, teaching and learning resources like books, handouts, information and communication technology, ICT things, ICT labs, digital technologies, tools and equipment, materials for practicals. Are we providing adequate materials for practical purpose or not? So adequacy of teaching and learning resources impact the teaching quality. Similarly, teaching and learning environment. How is the learning environment? When we enter into the TVET institutions, if that environment, that campus environment, learning environment, classroom environment, labs environment, hostels, all the facilities, accommodations or dinings, the gardens, waiting room, receptions, that indicate the quality of learning. So institute, classroom, library, industry. So if we are talking about the industrial exposure, apprenticeship training, internship, whatever, if we don't have a very appropriate industry or partnership with the industry, the values and culture of that institution. So within the teaching and learning environment, institution itself, classroom and labs, library, industry, the partner industry, values and cultures are the common elements for the teaching and learning environment. And time frame, long term or short term, month, date, time of class. So it also matters. Sometimes time frames indicates the quality of the programs. Okay, so these are the basic elements for the quality teaching learning environments. As in teachers, in the either in blended learning or whatever, now the present time in the modern teachers, they are not only traditional teachers, they are not only the traditional classroom based teachers, they are friend. That nowadays students consider teacher as a friend, or in the simple way we can say traditional teachers students means, if you see these boxes, in traditional teachers, always teachers speaks much and students involvement is very less. But when teachers convert into trainer, 50-50, the relations of trainer and trainees. And the modern learning things is the student-centered learning or learner-centered learning means learners or students, they involved more than 80% and about 20% by teachers, and they are considered as not teachers, they are considered as mentor or coach. So this is the, in blended learning and online learning also, the third box applies. Learner centers, project-based learning, problem-based learning. And in the blended learnings, the student's role will be more than mentor or coach or teachers, okay? So this is a kind of shifting role of teachers. So we have to consider this, where we are. But present 21st century is seeking this third box for the learning purpose. And what is online now? Well, I'll go to the online teaching and learning because the previous slides was the basic concept about teaching and learning management, instructional management, okay? So now, online teaching and learning, education that takes place over the internet, that is the fundamental character of the online teaching and learning, and often referred to as e-learning. It is also called e-learning. And this one, online teaching and learning, is a type of distance learning. Okay? So distance learning means there are many other types, but online learning is one of the types of the distance learning. And if you remember in the opening programs, given our friends, Engineer Ghani mentions about the blended learning and things. Blended learning is the combinations of classroom, the real classroom face-to-face to online or distance learning. That is the blended means blend of two elements, face-to-face plus distance learning. That is called blended learning. So online, I already mentioned, online is one types of distance learning. So if you see the types of distance learning, like correspondence course through mail, nowadays people are doing programs or learning can be happen through the correspondence course. The teachers can send assignment, projects, or let's say reading material through mail, and students can read it and they can respond by mail. And telecourses via radio or television broadcast. That is another setup, distance mode. CD-ROM courses, like if you remember the history of the evolution of the ICT, around the mid 1980s, the CD-ROM developed. So interacts with static computer content. And online learning, internet-based courses. Mobile learning, cellular phones, iPods, iPad, MP3 players. So using this device, we can conduct mobile learning. So nowadays there are many learning apps, mobile apps we can use. Okay, so these are the types of distance learning. So if you apply one of these types plus your traditional face-to-face class, then that is considered as blended learning. Okay, so benefits of online teaching and learning. What are the benefits? It is a very convenience, easy. So now also we are conducting, even in the difficult pandemic situation of the COVID-19, now we are doing this. So this is a very convenient tools approach. Enhanced learning, it will enhance the learning. So learner will involve much in this learning, online and teachers. That's why it will enhance the learning part. And appropriate gray field, gray field means this is a very good part. If there's some students are weak, or they are gray field means if they are weak in some components, when we apply this online teaching learning, they will read more and they will get flexible timing. So no need to see, means face-to-face class means 10 to 5 or 9 to 3. But in online learning, even they can use their extra time. So this is appropriate for gray field. And more interactions. It will give more interactions. So, passive, introvert students also can interact easily. Normally in classroom, only extrovert type of students or talkative students will ask the questions. And the silent and passive type of student will not talk in front of teachers. But online teaching learning, it will be more interactive. Even silent or introvert type of students will also learn easily. And effective documentations. So if we develop a very good online teaching systems, so during the implementation, we have to follow different systems. So it will be a digitized version. It will be remain in the e version. So it will be a very effective system for documentation and innovative way. And this is, as you know, this is a very innovative way. And efficiency. It will reduce the cost. In the beginning, to set up, online classroom environment or online learning environment, the initial cost will be high. But in long run, it will be very efficient way. Efficiency means economize. So less cost. In long run, it will be like one teachers can handle 500 students, or one teachers can handle 20 polytechnics classrooms from one place. Like from Kuala Lumpur, or single teachers can take a class for all Mara Institute, Mara Polytechnic Institute, or all the community colleges, whatever. So it will create the efficiency. This is a very good thing, and maximize physical resources. So online means in every places we don't need to develop physical facilities. So we can use our physical resources, physical space for other purpose. So online teaching and learning give that opportunities as well. And this is the outreach. So this is obvious. From Kuala Lumpur, we can conduct class entire Malaysia or in other countries. And from Philippines, from Manila, we can deliver class to Davao, we can deliver class to Baguio, we can deliver class to other, Iloilo, whatever. So it is the easy way for the outreach. Okay, so these are the basic or very important benefits of the online teaching, and there are many other benefits. Distance learning. So now I'll talk about distance learning empowers students as active learning. So derived from the work of Swiss philosopher, Jean Piaget, a constructivism passages. That is he was the Swiss philosopher, and that is called constructivism. In his principle of theory of constructivism, he mentioned for the distance learning, the learner as a unique individual. So each and every learners, it is a unique. We cannot make a common and like a harmonize for the learning purpose. We cannot say all learners are harmonized. No, they are unique. They have different characters. They have different capacity. They have different learning, capacity and attitude. The relevance of the learner's background and cultures. So always distance learning empowers students relevant to their background and culture. That's why if there is no internet, means we have to follow radio, TV, or other project-related assignment or teaching reading materials. That is a kind of distance learning. If there is a internet things, we can use online learning. If there is no internet or only the television is available, we have to conduct television-based learning. So that means the relevance of the learner's background and cultures. So distance learning always relevant to the learner's background and context. Okay, increased responsibility for learning belongs to the students. So distance learnings, as I already mentioned, in distance learning, students' role is more than teachers. Teachers are just mentor, facilitator, coach, but learner, they have to give more time for the learning. And motivations for learning comes from successful completion of the challenges task. So when teachers gives assignment or task or project works, the students will be motivated to complete that, and they feel happy when they complete. Okay, instructors as facilitators, helping learners develop their own understanding of our content. So instructors are facilitators, and learning is an active social process. So it is a social process, it is an active process, so students will involve more and they will learn like a project-based learning or problem-based learning. They will learn by completing that project or solving that problem. And the dynamic interaction between task, instructor, and learner, it will create a synergy between these three elements: given task, instructor, and learners. So if it will create a synergy, then it will give more result. According to him, these 6 principles are very important in the distance learning. Why do we need to strengthen online education system through ICT in our TVET institutions? Market responsive. Because today's market is digitized and ICT based, technology based market. If you are illiterate in ICT or digital technology, if we don't have access to ICT and digital technology, it is considered as illiteracy. Today's illiteracy is not the absence of reading, writing, and speaking. The illiteracy means lack of ICT and digital technology. That is the illiteracy for today's market. So for the market responsive, to address the market need, we have to strengthen our online education system through ICT. And efficiency and effectiveness. As I already mentioned, the online learning or ICT-based learning or blended learning, that environment creates efficiency and effectiveness in the organization. Okay, efficiency means, effectiveness means do right things. If we develop ICT-based online education system or blended learning environment in our institute, that is an effective way for 21st century need to address 21st century skills. To do right things is effectiveness, and to do things rightly is efficiency. Means with minimum resources, get more result is efficiency. That's why to get both efficiency and effectiveness in the present learning system or the 21st century educational environment, we have to introduce online education system through ICT and or blended learning environment and survive in a global competitions. If you don't have online education system, or if you don't have appropriate ICT or digital technology in your campus or your college or your polytechnic institute or your institute, we cannot survive in the global market. So for the globally competitiveness, we need these things, survive in a global competitions, okay? Basically, we need online educations or blended learning environment to have these three elements. Okay, hope you got this. So manage distance learning environment in educational institutions. As I already mentioned, PDCA. So if we have to manage distance learning environment or blended learning environment, in another word, online learning, there are different elements of the learning environment. Always we have to do plan, develop distance learning plan. So if we are thinking about distance learning, or if we have already, we have to develop distance learning plan. We have to develop HR plan. We have to develop procurement plan. If you are thinking about to create blended learning environment or distance learning environment, you have to procure many things. You have to construct your learning environment. So for that, you have to procure many items, many technology, and you have to develop your human resources. That's why you have to develop HR plan also. Basically, develop distance learning plan and procurement plan. And do part is procure and install this based on our export, based on what type of system we want to install in our organizations. Purpose, train human resource. We have to train our workforce, human resource. If we develop the system, if we buy the technology, but if we do not train our system, okay, and train HR is the another important thing, and operate distance learning system. So based on that, after train or develop our human resources, then we have to operate our distance learning system, blended learning or whatever. For that, we need very competent teachers, competent instructors, competent workforce, competent ICT team. Like now we are delivering this class, but in the back of house, we have 3-4 CPSC ICT team. They are watching us. If some systems create some problems, immediately they will maintain it. Same thing, it should be in your institute, okay? And monitoring and evaluation of the system. That is a check part. And evaluate learning performance. After introducing blended learning environment in your institution, what happened to the result? What happened to the real learning of the level of the students? Did it increase the graduation rate, or did it contribute for the higher employment rate? That's matter. So we have to evaluate, and after the evaluations report, we have to do the feedback management. That is, improve the system based on our evaluations or check part. We have to improve the systems. If we have to improve our technology, if we have to improve our students, teachers, if we have to improve our learning environment, we have to do that and suggest for new technology and methods if needed. Okay, so this is called overall in educational institute. We have to manage distance learning environment in educational institutions considering PDCA cycle. Okay. So if you have any questions, please note down, and at the end of the course, this session, we will discuss on that. So I will now also one video, tips for online learning. This is a tips for online learning, okay? gives you a lot of tips about how to manage our blended learning environment, or in another word, distance learning things, okay? So important questions for new online teachers to consider. So if you are considered, or if we are considering we are the online teachers, or we are the teachers for blended learning environment, not the traditional classroom environment, and we have to answer these questions. Please consider these questions and try to get the answers by yourself. And this is a kind of homework for you. Okay? How can we accommodate different learning styles online? That is the number one question. How can we accommodate different learning styles online? That is the number one question. Number two, how might you convert the learning activities you use in the traditional classroom to the online environment? Is it possible to use your materials as is or will you need to rethink how your material is presented? So whatever material we are developing in our traditional classroom, can we use same material to the online teaching or for the blended purpose? Definitely not. That's why we have to redevelop our teaching learning material to meet the requirement of the online learning. Maybe we have to develop some videos, some interview things, some project guidelines, maybe pictures, like many other things. So this is the second questions. You have to try to give answer. Okay. And number 3 questions. Lecturing is the most common method of presenting content in college classroom. Why is lecturing a less productive method of teaching in the online environment? So you have to give answers. So we already gave many answers in previous slides. Please try to get an answer of that. In the virtual classroom, lectures are short and few. With this being the case, where are the students going to get the information they need to obtain the learning objectives? Number 5, are video, audio, and real-time activities of benefit in a text-based asynchronous online course? Why or why not? How will you inform your students of online expectation and realities and help ensure their success? What problems can you anticipate that students might have when beginning your course? How might you smooth the way for your students? Okay, this is the assignment, homework from my side to answer these 7 questions to you. So way forward to address online learning. So we discuss a lot about the online learning, and so we have to develop human resource in the context of new learning environment. If we are thinking new learning environment, that can be a blended or online, we have to develop our human resources. That is the way forward. Similarly, improve internet facilities. If we do not have very strong internet facility, we have to improve that. Expand access for learners to online digital application and platforms. So we have to expand our access to the learner, our students, many digital applications and platforms. Maximize distance learning system. We have to maximize. We should not be depend only on online. There might be a different context, remoteness. There might, in some countries, there might not be electricity and internet things. So in that case, we have to apply other methods of the distance learning. Facilitate learners on Internet of Things and digital technologies. Invest more on internet and digital resources. If we develop new learning environment with the blended learning considerations, means we have to reduce investment in the classroom environment or face-to-face, then we can increase our investment in the blended learning environment or ICT and digital technology thing. So our investment pattern will change. So investment more on internet, and develop documentary or video on practical classes. Develop facilities of practical classes through virtual and digital technology. Okay, so these are the way forward. We have to consider, we have to think, we have to rethink to implement online learning or integrate online and traditional classroom things as a blended approach. We have to think about this. So in concluding quote of Abraham Lincoln, if I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. Means if we have a 6 hours to do something, we can spend 4 hours for our planning and managing things. In the remaining 2 hours, you can implement your classroom very well. So for this blended learning environment, you have to give more time to develop your learning environment. When you kick off, it will go very fast. First, initial investment is the key. So with this quote, I would like to conclude my presentation. If you have any questions, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I just want to ask about the utilization of tablet, since we we talk about blended learning. We are using the tablet for our lessons also. But do you have any ideas on how to utilize tablet to our lessons aside from presentation, like for drawings or using other applications? Do you have any more ideas about that?
Yeah, that is a very good things like a tablet or mini computer, and many countries, they are distributing laptop and they are sending project work or reading materials through the email, and student has to use their laptops or tablet things. So that is the very best approach what you are doing. And I think for the more effective way to apply different apps or digital apps, you can utilize that also. And I think Mr. Ghani can explain more about it because he is a ICT guy. That's why, Ghaniji, can you give more input to the?
Yes, sir. We will have a detailed session on it. So we will share more detail about how to use the tablet for the teaching and learning process, how it will help you to develop an effective and efficient course program for trainees. So we will share detail in our upcoming training session.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Ellen. Anybody else?
Please
Oh, sorry,
consider.
12:30. Yeah, 12:30, sir. 12:30. Yeah,
12:30
sorry.
time.
Yes, 12:30. Sorry, 12:30. We will meet once again. Okay, Aline, now you can officially conclude the session.
So that's it. Thank you very much once again, Dr. Ram. Thank you, Engineer Dani, and thank you, everyone. We have a big number of participants for the opening ceremony, and that's wonderful. We welcome you once again, and tomorrow we'll see you all. And we hope some more participants will be joining. I think 2 more participants were not able to join. So that's it. Mabuhay and salamat
Thank
po.
you. Assalamualaikum. Salamat po.
Thank you.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. See
Thank
you
you.
tomorrow.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.